Hello everyone, welcome to Reading Time. I'm back with a story again, and the name of the story is A Special Tree by Ruskin. One day, when Rakesh was 6, he walked home from the Missouri bazaar eating cherries. Rakesh lived with his grandfather on the outskirts of Missouri. They were a little sweet, a little sour. Small, bright red cherries which had come all the way from the Kashmir Valley. Here, in the Himalayan foothills where Rakesh lived, there were not only many fruit trees, but on the more sheltered slopes there were forests of oak and deodar. Here, in Himalayan foothills where Rakesh lived, there were not many fruit trees. The soil was stony, and the dry cold winds stunted the growth of most plants. Just where the forest began, his father and mother lived in a small village 50 miles away, where they grew maize and rice and barley in narrow terraced fields on the lower slopes of the mountain. But there were no schools in the village, and Rakesh's parents were keen that he should go to school. As soon as he was of school-going age, they sent him to stay with his grandfather in Missouri. He had a little cottage outside the town. Rakesh was on his way home from the school when he bought the cherries. He paid 50 paise for the bunch. It took him about half an hour to walk home. By the time he reached the cottage, there were only 3 cherries left. "Have a cherry, grandfather," he said, as soon as he saw his grandfather in the garden. Grandfather took one cherry and Rakesh promptly ate the other one. He kept the last seed in his mouth for some time, rolling it round and round on his tongue until all the tang had gone. Then he placed the seed on the palm of his hand and studied it. "Are cherry seeds lucky?" asked Rakesh. "Course. Then I'll keep it." "Nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must put it to some use." "What can I do with the seed?" "Plant it." So Rakesh found a small space and began to dig up a flower bed. "Hey, not there," said grandfather. "I've sown mustard in that bed. Plant it in the shady corner where it won't be disturbed." Rakesh went to a corner of the garden where the earth was soft and yielding. He did not have to dig. He pressed a seed into the soil with his thumb, and it went right in. Then he had his lunch and ran off to play cricket with his friends and forgot all about the cherry seed. When it was winter, in the hill, cold wind blew down from the snows, went hoo 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 in the deodar trees, and the garden was dry and bare. In the evenings, grandfather and Rakesh sat over a charcoal fire, and grandfather told Rakesh stories about people who turned into animals and ghosts who lived in trees, and beans that jumped and stones that wept. And in turn, Rakesh would read to him from the news. Grandfather's eyesight being rather weak, Rakesh found the newspaper very dull, especially after the stories. But grandfather wanted all the news. They knew it was spring when the wild duck flew north again to Siberia. Early in the morning, when he got up to chop wood and light a fire, Rakesh saw the V-shaped formation streaming north, the calls of the birds carrying clearly through the thin mountain air. One morning, in the garden, he bent to pick up what